Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Proven Inspiration. I do hope you're having a good day. I'd like to provide you with training today, and our topic for today is selfishness versus selflessness. Now, you may be in a relationship. This video today is for those in a relationship, IAR, and you're dating this amazing guy. He likes various things. Some of those things you like, some of those things you don't like, but because he's such a great person, you enjoy spending time with him, you go with him to the events that he likes to attend. Sometimes you wish like he would show an interest in the things that you like, but he's such a great person, he's a great kisser, you just feel so loved and so blessed to have him in your life. So you ignore the fact that he doesn't really show an interest in the things that you like. This is a situation that often arises in relationships. Sometimes when things are so new, so fresh, so exciting, you feel like this guy is God's gift to you, which he possibly is. When he hugs you, the world disappears. All of those feelings that he generates in you just makes you minimize things like that. But my news that I have for you today is anything you minimize in dating actually becomes massive in marriage. So I suggest that you save a lot of the romance for marriage. You're gonna need it there because you're talking forever and ever. So save the romance for marriage as much as possible, and really pick up the courage to deal with the difficult topics, because what you're dealing with there is essentially someone who's selfish or showing selfish traits. So it's important that you have a discussion with this person about what your needs and what your desires are. Now, before you have that conversation, it's important that you assess the individual that you're dating. Some people who have grown up as only children. So if you get an understanding of this person, is the person you're dating, are they an only child? Because if they're an only child, they probably used to get in their way because they're the only child for their parents. And so they carry that same mentality into relationships, into dating, and feel that only the things that they're interested in should be important to you and to him as an individual. And so they don't know how to share, they don't know how to compromise. So to get an understanding of this person, or is this someone who has lived by themselves for a long time and perhaps they're not used to being in a relationship? Just assess this person, ask questions, get an understanding. Once you have more of an understanding, then you can broach the topic of selfishness with your partner, because what you're requesting from them is selflessness. In having this conversation, you don't attack them, because you want to have a productive conversation. So the purpose of the conversation is to express your desires, to explain your observations, and to express your desires, because you would like some of the things that you are interested in the relationship to be reflected in the relationship. I'll say that again. Your desire is to have some of your interests reflected in the relationship. So you'd like your partner to spend more time with you doing some of the things that you like doing. So for instance, he might be into sports, but you don't really like sports, but you go along with him to his sporting events. So you're asking him, honey, I like the opera. I know it's not really your thing, but I do enjoy your company, and I'd like it if you could accompany me sometimes to the opera. It doesn't have to be every single time, but it could be sometimes. So the way he responds gives you a good indication of where he's at as a person. And not just the way he responds, but his attitude when he goes with you to the event. Because sometimes people say yes, but when they arrive at the event, their attitude just makes the event unenjoyable for you, because they're complaining, they're whining, they're moaning, and it spoils it for you. So if that's the kind of person that you're dating, then you know that you're going to have an issue in marriage, because in dating, it might be a small thing, but in marriage, when the kissing is over, when the hugging is over, you are ultimately dealing with a selfish person. But what you want is selflessness. So have the conversation with them, because the reality is in each and every one of us, there's an element of selfishness. But if you have an awareness of yourself and the needs of other people, then that selfishness can be managed. And so you learn to compromise, you learn to give and take. And that's what life is about, give and take. If you decide to ignore those issues when you get into marriage, then it will become a prime focus for you, because it will actually spill over into every area of your life. Selfishness will spill over into every aspect of your life. So also will selflessness. And so it takes two. So when you have this conversation with your partner, see what they say. It might be something that you need to work on. They might not get it at one point, but eventually with practice, if you keep saying to them, honey, like, let's do something that I like as well, and you see whether they're able to accept that and go along and have a good time just because they're there with you, then if you have someone like that, then you know that you can build on that. But if you have someone who doesn't ever want to do what you're doing, what you like rather, they're not interested, and if they do go, they're complaining all the way, then you know that you're dealing with a selfish person. And you can then make an informed decision as to whether you want to carry on with a relationship. But just be aware that if you do decide to carry on with the relationship, selfishness will be an issue in your marriage. Okay? So the aim is selflessness, and it takes practice. But if you love a person, you will make the sacrifice, because at the end of the day, love is sacrifice. That's really what it is about. Love is sacrifice. Okay? These are my thoughts for you today. Please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, to take it easy. Bye.